잠깐만요. There it is. So if you guys didn't know, today is gonna be the day. We're gonna pause the music because I kind of left it all on like the same tab. But yeah, so if you guys didn't know, today's stream is gonna be femcel reaction. Hi guys, hi. So what we're watching is Japan's cheating laws are insane. Okay, that scared me. Hi, what the fuck? Hold on, I need to adjust this. I think I need to adjust this real quick because I got scared.
Cheating in Japan is one of those things people like to endlessly argue about. While it is up for debate how much cheating there actually is, it is a fact that people are much more open about it.
Yeah.
浮気をしたことはありますか？
あります。あります。
One thing that is often left out of the discussion though is the fact that you can actually sue your partner or the one they cheated on you with in the court of law.
As
an example, in 2021, a man sued her wife's female lover for sleeping with his wife. And the court ordered the wife's mistress to pay $1,000 to the man as damages. Since it is relatively common to sue someone over cheating, the law has been revised many times over the years to include such things as protection for businesses. What counts as a business transaction? Well, as an example, it is not possible to sue hostesses or prostitutes for infidelity because it is a part of their
what's the crazy thing? This might be a little insane to you guys, okay?
Business, and they are simply trying to retain the men who visit them as customers. Overall, the laws around extramarital affairs in Japan are extremely weird and often inconsistent. Most of the time, to be able to sue someone for cheating requires that sexual intercourse happens, which leads to a divorce. However, there have been cases when people have been sued and lost, even though the relationship was supposedly strictly platonic. In 2014, a woman was sued for playing badminton and going to a fireworks festival with a man who was on a business trip with her. There wasn't evidence to prove the two were in a sexual relationship, but still, the court ruled that the couple had to acknowledge that they went beyond a suitable friendship between a man and a woman and that it was an immoral relationship.
See, that's the thing.
Japan is
You know what's the thing? We've all watched anime, right? We all know that, like, the fireworks scene is the one where, like, the guy or the girl confesses to each other, right? So I guess, yeah, they did kind of go beyond, you know, what is an okay relationship between colleagues. Yeah, because I paused
a country that is very much a mixture of old and new. This is why even things like relationships are complicated with traditional values and modern problems. It is believed that cheating is something that happens quite often in Japan, and it definitely seems like it, with how it's reflected in the media and from all the discussions around it. It is hard to find trustworthy data to back anything up, so I cannot say for sure. However, it certainly seems that it's very common. The reason it seems cheating is so common in Japan is because many marriages end up loveless. There is a huge imbalance in the work life between the men and the women, which causes many couples to grow apart over the years. The problem here is that even though the couple no longer get along, divorce is off the table for most people in Japan. Societally, divorce is looked down upon and you'd lose face if you were to go through with it. This is why people often start to look for intimacy outside of their own marriage, which is why there is such a huge market for hostess clubs, show plans, and other misushobai businesses where the only thing that's being sold is fake human connection. Now, many of you are probably wondering, what's the point of suing someone in a marriage that's already...
Let me tell you guys something, okay? So when it comes to, like, cheating in Asia in general, right? There is, like, this huge stigma where it's like you shouldn't get a divorce because it's shameful. You know, it's shameful to be the one who got cheated on because you aren't good enough to hold on to your partner, which is a crazy thing.
My thinking is that most of the time, it's not about the money, it's about sending a message.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, there's probably a large amount of people who want to hurt their partner whom they've come to resent. consent, but I think the larger reason is all about saving face.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, getting divorced in Japan sadly makes you a lesser person
easiest
in
way
the
to
eyes of
retaliate
society.
is legally.
However, if you sue your partner and win in the court of law, it is one way to make you seem as the victim and an innocent party in the divorce.
Yeah, it's
this is a
honestly
way
the
to
only
shift blame to your
real way to
partner and save
retaliate,
face in the
which is
upcoming
kinda
divorce.
crazy.
So for example, the man whose wife cheated on him with another woman probably felt like he'd be seen as a loser if he didn't take his case into court. On paper, it definitely sounds like a weird system, which is why most countries don't have this kind of law in effect. But it is not only in Japan where people use the court of law to restore their reputation. Think about the Johnny Depp vs Amber Heard case, for example. Johnny owns about 15 private islands, so the lawsuit wasn't about money or his career, it was all about clearing his name in the public eye. Of course, the Johnny Depp allegations were a bit more serious than the fact that your wife doesn't find you sexually attractive anymore, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Now, I personally think cheating is something that should be resolved within the relationship. It is pretty hard for a judge and a jury to understand the intricacies of other people's
Social
marriages and
expectations
feelings.
are crazy.
If nothing else, I do find it kind of ridiculous that people are able to sue the person your spouse cheated on you with, because even though they're not innocent, ultimately, the responsibility lies with your partner.
That's
Divorces
true.
are already ugly, and I don't think it helps anyone to bring a third party in it. Even in a
But
country
then
as
the
stubborn
person
as
getting
Japan, though,
cheated
there have
on
been
didn't
some
choose to
changes
bring
to
a third
these
party in
laws.
either, so what the
Recently,
hell?
they've tried to make it harder to sue the third party, thanks to cases like the one we mentioned earlier, where the wife sued the mistress even though there was no intercourse proven. Today, in order to sue the mistress, you are required to prove that your case is a special circumstance. What is a
Yikes.
special circumstance, and who decides if yours counts as special? Nobody knows. So effectively, even with this change, you can
Bro.
still sue the mistress, as long as they're not a hostess. But what do you think? Is it a good thing to be able to sue the
You know what's the thing? Okay. There are more videos on this. There's more like I remember like some guy actually did like an on the street like interview on this.
日本人の女性は浮気する人多いと思いますか？
多くないと思います。まあ自分がやば好きじゃなさすぎて、その好きじゃない人と付き合ってる状況が耐えられなくて。
で周りには知ってる子はいます。いっぱいいます。
いっぱいいる。
はい。
いっぱいいる。
女の子は隠すのが上手いだけで、そうどっちもどっちだと思うんですけど。
ノー
少ない。
少ないと思う。イエーイ。なんです。私の周りの友達は割と遊ぶの大好きだから多くないと思います。多くないと思います。知ってる友達いるんですけど、なんかやめた方がいいよっては言っても、
Fun fact, every time I try to dress up like this girl on the right, like I try a similar style, I look at myself in the mirror and I think to myself, I look like The Rock.
そのま
And
ん
that
ま
one like
です。
famous
多いんじゃ
picture
ないで
of
すか
him.
ね。男性の方が多いと思うんですけど、まあ女性もいるかなっていう。うちは
I don't know how.
いますね。聞くだけだと楽しいから、もっと
Trying
やっ
to
ちゃ
the
え
one without the shirt on.
日本人の女性は浮気する人多い。
Without the shirt on is me for sure. Yeah, so like the crazy thing is that okay, this is another
風
video.
俗に行くことは浮気かどうかっていう、どう思いますか？
浮気じゃない。
浮気じゃない。
気持ちの浮気は嫌なんですけど、まあ性欲の浮気は別
Alright,
に
so guys, thank you for
勝手にしてくれるんやったらいいかな。
一般人と連絡取れる間でやられるよりは、店でちゃんとしてもらった方がいいです。イエス。なんかわざわざ風俗に行く意味がわからない。秘密にしてたらあれだけど、まあ情に恋とかしなければいいじゃない。浮気ではない。隠さなければ浮気じゃない。浮気するなら風俗に行けって言ったことあります。金払えばいいよって言ったことあります。
新しいね、出会いじゃなくてお金払って言ってるなら別にいいから。
納得できる理由だったら浮気とは思わないかも。
例えば、どういう？
付き合い？
例えば上司とかの。
怒るけど言ってもまだ許せる風俗なら。
なんか日本ならではのなんか文化じゃないけど、やっぱり有名じゃないですか。風俗とかっていうのが。そういう意味では日本ならではで、そう。
What do you guys think? I'll put some like calm music in the back. What do you guys think about that? So like, I mean, being from Asia, I have like, you know, TLDR. Saying takeout food. Yeah, exactly. The attitude is crazy. So, as someone, okay, so I feel like I'm more like westernized because like I grew up with a lot of Western influences, but I have family back home in like, you know, Hong Kong and Japan who have this type of mentality where, and it's also kind of prevalent in like Singapore too, where you go to like, if your partner goes to hostess club, right? For the most part, it's for like bonding. Okay, we'll very loosely call it bonding with like the bosses with the clients, right? But then they get like, you know, favors from the hostesses. And I've actually had I had a boss who would do that, and I remember asking his like wife about it, right? And his wife just said it's okay as long as at the end of the day, like at the end of the like day, right? He comes home to me, it's all right. No, nomikai is bars, but in like Chinese culture especially, right? They kind of do it at like hostess bars, Thai discos, where, you know, there are like pretty girls dressed very skimpily, and then, you know, is it overpowering my voice? Oops. Okay, I've lowered it like hella down. Today was supposed to be disapproval received, but like we had to shift yesterday's stream from the femcel one to Yu-Gi-Oh! So yeah, that's like, it's kind of insane from like a Western perspective, but this is very much the mentality here. If you're a good partner, you just kind of like, you know, internalize that shit. So the way, but okay, that makes sense. The boundary that separates it, right? The boundary that separates it is basically if you have to pay for it, it's okay because it's transactional. But if it's like with a colleague, you know, with someone that's like if it's with like a colleague, if it's with someone that's like you know, personal to you, then it's not okay. Exactly. No, you're paying for it because you want something different than what you have at home. It is very much, my wife is cooking at home, but I want to eat McDonald's kind of mentality. Or you pay your colleague a single yen before. I mean, you know, like be for reals, right? If I were to be like, oh yeah, here, I'm giving my colleague my partner gives his colleague a singular dollar, I'd be pissed though. I'd be like, you're insane. So yeah, that is like basically like the cheating laws in Japan. What do you guys think?